Tune in Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show. Hear from the doctors that were among the first in the U.S. to merge the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda and natural medicines with the advances of modern medical science. Listen to pioneer doctors Sodhi, Shailinder, and Anju Sodhi to keep up with some of the latest medical advances and learn from some of the true leaders of Ayurvedic medicines every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. with the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show on Desi 1250 AM, radio that listens to you.
Good morning, folks. This is Dr. Shailinder Sodhi along with my co-host Dr. Anju Sodhi.
Good morning, everyone.
And today the topic we have is on the toxic chemicals in our daily life. And this topic is very huge, Dr. Anju, as you know that we in everything what we use, from food to clothing to makeup to cleaning chemicals, they all have lots of the toxic chemicals. And that's the part I think we wanted to discuss with our listeners today on this Radio Desi 1250. And today we are recording, so we will not be taking any live phone calls today. And that's a little bit different from our past segments when I and Dr. Anju always have presented our topic live from the studio and taken your calls. So we apologize for to all our listeners if you are thinking of calling us, but you can always reach us and call us at our clinic number, which is 425-453-8022. Again, that clinic number is 425-453-8022, and you guys can leave us a message if you have any concern or question regarding today's topic, which is on the toxic chemicals in our life. So Dr. Anju, what you will be covering in today's topic?
So I am going to cover some of I will be covering dirty dozens, we call, like in the skincare products. Like skincare product, Dr. Shailinder, is huge. We use that from like the scratch, like taking bath, from the soap to the cream to the lotions to the for the women especially, all the cosmetic. It has a lot of chemicals in it. So people are getting aware more and more these days, but we will like to cover it a little bit. So because some of the chemicals can be carcinogen, and also it's available if it may be a little bit more expensive to buy the completely natural lines without the chemicals or the parabens, which is carcinogens. So I am going to cover that part.
Okay. Well, that's very good because I think, the population, the majority of population uses lots of makeup chemicals and perfumes and all that. They're all loaded with the different chemicals.
That is right.
And so, that's a great part you will be covering. So, Dr. Anju, it is, we are finding more and more people are, starting to educate themselves on what they perceive to be healthy. So, and they realize what they should be eating, what to buy, and what kind of car they should be driving, if it is eco-friendly, all these type of things, even what type of chemical they should be using in cleaning. So, this is very important because these are all the things which actually involve very different types of chemicals and different types of things in our daily life. And people don't even realize. They think that they are, eating healthy, and only to find when they read a fine label that there are certain colors or certain preservatives which actually are toxic to the human beings. As all of you, I'm sure majority of the listeners know that you can find toxins and nasty chemicals in almost everything, from the pesticides on our food to the chemicals in our food. And cosmetic products keeps lots of chemicals. Even computers, Dr. Anju, it's hard to believe that they are made of all the chemicals, and it's hard to believe if there is anything which comes without chemical at all. So all these chemicals and toxins are released into our environment, and they flow through our waters, and the air we breathe are also all absorbed by the humans and wildlife through the food and water we consume. and through our skin. You can't see, touch, or smell many of these toxins. We typically do not feel their effects unless we come down with a very chronic disease after years of exposure. And one study, Dr. Anju, done by Columbia University of Public Health, they estimated about the 95% of the cancers. 95% of the cancers are caused by the diet and environmental toxicity.
That is huge number.
That is very big number. These chemicals actually have contaminated even wildlife, Dr. Anju, even our environment. Birds, bears, panthers, alligators, frogs, you name it. They all are affected by it. These are the animals that known to be suffering. And surprising or not so surprising, more than 300 man-made chemicals have been reported to found in humans. When they were tested, even we have all these chemicals in our circulation, in our blood, in our fat tissues. These hazardous chemicals found on nearly every person on our planet, and some of these toxins have been linked to several cancers and a variety of reproductive problems even caused or created by these chemicals. So, it's very much a serious problem. It's such a huge problem, Dr. Anju, that we really need to give a really good look. In another study, which was done by British Medical Journal, concluded that 75% of all cancers are caused by environmental and lifestyle factors. So it really, if you look into the Columbia Health and British, we are in, a lot of these cancers are really caused by these chemicals, which we don't even realize we are exposed to. So, what we should be doing, what we need to do to do it. Some of the chemicals, as simple as, people don't even realize that, like pumping almost like gas in your car. That's the I pump gas in my car, and the one of the things which I make attention to is that when I'm pumping, I'm always looking for which direction the air is going for. So opposite to that direction I will stand, so the air does not blow on me when I'm pumping the gas in my car. So, the gas actually has a lot of carcinogens. It's a class 1 flammable liquid. And in Oregon, actually, they really declared it as exposure to toxic fumes is a health hazard in Oregon. That they say that's why whenever somebody driving in Oregon State, they don't let you pump the fuel in your car. But in fact, they have trained people who does that for you. So that tells you, it's a very toxic chemical, and the risk is a huge when you breathe in all the vapors while you're pumping the gasoline. And inhaling, because these vapors actually contain the benzenes and toluene, which are naturally present in the gas. And benzene and toluene are known to be very much carcinogens. So that's another thing which people need to understand, that chronic exposure, that means if you expose more often, and the people actually, even not only this, also those people who use gas blowers or which use gasoline, either it's an air blower or any of those, that they are also kind of exposed to these chemicals. So you need to be very careful around the gasoline to avoid the benzene inhalation or toluene, which is naturally present in the gasoline. So what is the best thing you all can do to all our listeners to reduce your risk of breathing vapors at the gas station? Make sure the nozzle is hold open latch to pump the gas continuously, and stand upwind, but stay closely enough to monitor it, so you are not really kind of topping off your gas tank, or you're not using the fuel doesn't fall out of the tank. So that's important, because that also minimizes the amount of vapor released to the pumps. And the second part, Dr. Anju, is I'm sure you will be covering even more, all those chemicals in the nail salons.
That is right.
So, the nail salons, if you ever gone to or sat in nail salon or in those areas where they do even sometime I go to these barber shops for haircut or anything, and they have, nail salon on the side. And what I find is actually there is usually a smell. And that smell sometimes makes me nauseous, and especially if they're doing some sort of stripping of the nails or putting some chemicals and all that, almost makes me nauseous. So this is because there are fumes in the air in the nail salon. There are so many nail salons all around, and it's some of the nail salons, the employees which work at the nail salons are actually constantly exposed to these chemicals, and these chemicals are present in the solvents, or they're also called as plasticizers. They have acids and resins, and these are all found in nails, in the nail product. So one study done in Northern California, and they found the women who work at the nail salons suffer acute health effects from the chemicals that they work with each day. Not to mention the polish applied to your nails contain lots of potential carcinogen. So what you need to do. I mean, I'm sure the majority of the women who are listening to me today, they're going to say, well, what do you want? You don't want us to get our nail painted or not? I'm not saying that, but I think it should be reduced.
It should be reduced, and especially like in our teenager girls, or like they are always going for always going for their nail salons to get it done. And also there is another one, the new one, which is which can stay for longer time, and
shellac and all.
Shellac, and all that is also need to reduce, because that really, it's not only the nail that like the chemicals, but it also rips your nails too. It's like it's not letting it grow properly too. So this is all need to cut down. So as needed.
Right. So the one of the things which I would recommend to our listeners, if you want to do the nail polish or all that, find a higher end places.
That is also true. Like some
quality
places are quality products too. So like these days, all this naturally, which may not be as good because it doesn't have all those chemicals which can make it like the shiny or longer, or but you can still find some good places, and
I think there is a happy medium to it. So the happy medium is, if you are suffering, or if you are having some sort of chronic disease or autoimmune disease,
yes, then it's very important.
Then it is so important that you should not consider using these chemicals on your nails.
Because the immune system is already compromised, and you do not want to have all those chemicals around you or in your body.
And also, I will recommend to all our listeners that if you kind of want to do it, don't do it more often.
Yes.
Just do occasional, or maybe when you need to. Just keeping, I think, my suggestion is cleaning the nails with the soft brush and all that, and using oils and ghee on the nail. That keeps a natural shine.
Natural shiny too.
So if you not into too much into colors, then I think the natural shine looking makes it really nice. And it's also, nails are actually sign of a good health. When you look into strong nails and shiny nails, that indicates that a person has a very good health. And if they are indicative of dull shine and all that, or ridges on all that, usually we look at it as that there is something at a deeper level. So folks, the one of the things which I would definitely recommend is try to cut down the chemical loads by using nails, the nail polishes which are less toxic and which can be, cut down the load on your system. The other thing, Dr. Anju, this is the summertime.
Yes, bug sprays.
We sit in the yard, we go to the parks, we want to go hike. And I see a lot of these people when I see them, into the trails. They pull out this big bottle and spraying in the air on all their body, on their extremities, their legs and arms, on face and body. So, and usually they don't even realize these are the bug repellents because they are so much bug phobic that they think that by doing that they can avoid the bugs to bite them. So it's one of those things. Either you're camping or laying in the beach or taking a stroll on the park. All these type of things are used quite oftenly. So whenever you're using these repellent, and I will say the repellent sprays, most bug repellent contains DEET, and this is it's considered as a pesticide, and so the DEET is one of the few insect repellent that works to repel mosquitoes in hopes of avoiding viruses and like West Nile virus and those type of things. However, DEET isn't just hazardous to those mosquitoes, it also contains a toluene. You remember I mentioned toluene earlier in the gasoline and benzene? The toluene is a part of the DEET, and which is a central nervous system depressant. And by spraying it over every inch of our bodies, it is then absorbed into the skin, bloodstream, as well as in the gut. So, our neighboring country in Canada, they have cut down the amount of DEET concentration to almost they don't want more than 30%. So this is certainly one of the thing which Canada has done. I think it is about our time in our US that we need to reduce that too. But there are other ways of very effective less toxic insect repellent and which we can do, which are not the DEET based. Some of the natural insect repellents are the neem oil, which is a herb, and that's excellent. Coat your body, massage the neem oil on the body before you go out, and that will give you good enough protection too. And also wearing clothing which covers all the open spaces will protect you from, if you are afraid of the bugs and bug bite, then that's a good thing. I'm not saying that you should not use a repellent, but the repellent which you need to use is make sure that you use the kind which is more natural. Even lavender oil and the neem oil have shown to be very much a bug repellent.
And we have used it while going to India, and even by not only the bug sprays we need to use, by taking the neem orally before you go to the places where you are afraid of the bugs can really helpful too.
Right. And when we come back after the break, we will be taking a very short break. After the commercial break, we'll come back and we will talk about some of the air fresheners and candles which we use in our daily life, which are also loaded with the chemical. So folks, stay in tune. We'll be right back after the break. So just hold on.
Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.
Thank you, folks, for staying in tune with us. And today the topic me and Dr. Anju Sodhi is discussing about the toxic chemicals in our daily life. And before the break, I mentioned that the next thing which I'm going to cover is the candles and air fresheners. Dr. Anju, even we at our home, we use lots of the air freshener, which are actually natural-based air freshener. But those are safe, right? The oil, essential oil-based.
Essential oils, like we burn the essential oils, those are completely
right. And the agarbattis and dhoop, which is actually dhoop is very natural.
Natural, but agarbatti also like they have a lot of chemicals sometimes in those too.
Right.
So which is really not recommended to use all the time.
Right. Those agarbattis, when you buy from the stores, make sure you look at it, make sure this contains all the natural essential oils and not the chemical. So the one which I'm more concerned about are the one which some of I find our community when they come to United States, and they all of a sudden find these air freshener sprays and those plugins, or these electric type of plugins. They are containing lots of chemical. In American Journal of Respiratory and Critical Care Medicine indicate that regular use of spray can increase the risk of developing asthma by 30 to 50%. So if you have someone in your family or your little ones, the kids or the adults, some issues with the asthma or allergies, you need to stay away. These air fresheners are filled with the phthalates, commonly used as a solvent in perfumes, and it also works as a sealant in adhesives, and it also fills several other roles. So exposure to phthalates may increase the chance of experiencing even causing reproductive issues, endocrine, which increase the hormonal problem, and sometimes in developmental problems. So, phthalates are very notorious, folks. So, stay away. Wherever you read the phthalates in the ingredient list, just avoid it. I see lots of population, even in our Indian community population, who are having issues with the pregnancies, or they're not able to get pregnant because, these chemicals may be, actually stopping that process of ovulation or cutting down the sperm counts in the system. So again, these phthalates which are present in air freshener and candles, they are not your friends. Just stay away. And that's it's better you want to use all natural. The problem with the sometimes these fresheners, sometimes they put very deceiving language on the label, Dr. Anju, like all natural and unscented. But these fresheners on the market, they contain these dangerous organic compound which react with the naturally with our system. So, and also not only they're harmful to our body, but these are also a danger to the environment because they're cutting down the ozone layer. Which again, we don't want to. Ozone is another issue as we are depleting ozone, and that's creating a global warming. So again, when you use air fresheners or the candles, read it very carefully. Majority of candles contain paraffin. Also a sludge waste product from the petroleum industry. So paraffin is, people sometimes think that it's a wax. It is not. It is actually a petroleum waste, and it also releases carcinogens when burned. So those paraffin candles, which you sometimes look at it and have perfumed, whenever, even though it gives a good perfume, a good scent aroma into the air, but it also releasing the carcinogens. So stay away from the paraffin-based candles. And there have been some study indicating some of these scented candles even have lead in the wick, which result dangerously high amount of lead released into the air that you breathe in your home. And the lead is not something. Also, those deadly fumes from the gas from benzene or toluene are found in the residue of burning candles. So, again, stay away from the paraffin types of candle. If you want to use it, use natural candles, the wax candles from the bee wax. Or I have even seen, Dr. Anju, the soybean based candles, which are better than the paraffin candles.
That is true.
And again, read the label. Even if they say this is natural wax and it has a soybean, uh, if this has chemicals which are kind of scented, synthetically, then you don't want to use it. You want to use very natural, natural aromas, and which our community is well aware of it, like rose attar and sandal and chamelies. All these are naturally, if you can get from the flower base or the plant based aromas, they are much safer for you. And Dr. Anju, there is another thing which we discuss about is, the stress factors. And we wonder what stress have to do, the exposure to chemicals or the toxins. Stress at certain level is like wear and tear in our bodies, and 99% of all illnesses are related to the stress. Uh, while there are different types of stress that are related to our different emotions, each has its own effect on the body. For example, when we are angry, we are putting our liver under stress, and we are sad, we are placing our heart under stress. So now imagine this type of stress on our organs for a long period of time. It leads to a disease process, right? It causes adrenaline and cortisol excessiveness, and which triggers the body produce more cholesterol. So a high cholesterol level puts us into the risk of heart diseases and heart problems. So this is just one of example, whether through the environment or negative people around us, negative energy, stress and toxic mental and emotional vibrations are channeled through our body's energy system, causing disease and imbalances. So, we need to make sure that we make our environment toxic, stress free. And we kind of create a very much a cordial environment where, we are not causing the our body to go through the adrenal stress or the cortisol stress, and which leads to the disease. Even though, people think, you were going to talk about the toxic chemical. I thought that stress is a part of it, which we all are exposed to.
Yes, and that we all are it's like part of our daily life.
Right. So anyway, Dr. Anju, I want you to now talk about the your part, which is you. I know you're very. You always telling your patients at the clinic at Ayurvedic Naturopathic Medical Clinic in Bellevue about what type of the chemicals they should avoid, and the makeup. I know you're very big at it. So tell about your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to add here, like how toxic the chemicals in our skincare products are, or like our beauty products are. So there is a huge number of the chemicals which we use in our daily life, and there is almost like 200 synthetic chemicals used in cosmetics every day.
Oh my gosh.
And these are rubbed on the body from head to toe. So from those oils to creams to lotions to like all the makeup lines. So and these chemicals will get absorbed through your pores and into your bloodstream through that. So these chemicals has a lot of side effects, and this can be a skin irritation, and skin irritation is a simple one, then to the birth defects, infertility, and even more worse, which is the cancer.
Right. People usually don't think that infertility and related to such a beautiful thing,
Yes.
cosmetic, which they apply to their body to make them look beautiful, pretty, can lead to something like infertility.
Infertility, and because it's the hormonal disruptor. And and then the babies are born with the pre-polluted with as many as 300 industrial chemicals in their bodies already. So personal care products used daily can expose to the more than 100 of 200 chemicals. So I would like to cover some of the which you need to look into, which you should be not be as Dr. Shailinder mentioned earlier, that read the label, so you know that what you are using in your what you should not be using in your the skincare or any beauty products. So lot of people might know about the BHA or the BHT, which is the butylated hydroxy anisole, and then the another chemical which is the butylated hydroxytoluene. So these both can cause cancer into the, and they have done in the rat and the mice. So it is, and in the makeup, it's moist. It can be used as a preservative into the all the skincare products. So it is a suspected endocrine disruptor, and it can cause it can be carcinogen.
So to the folks, the endocrine disruptor mean the things which actually
it will imbalance your hormones into the body.
Yeah, so not only the female, but the males can also
too
see the same effect with these endocrine disruptors.
And then Dr. Shailinder is also, if a lot of times we see the coal tar dyes into our like the cosmetic too. So look for that word, and if it's there, so you should not be using that as well, because it's also like very toxic for the body. And then there is also like a lot of times we see the colors into our food and into our cosmetic, like they use the colors. That is also toxic for the body and toxic to the these brain too. It's try not to use those.
So these are the color dyes, the hair dyes, which people use it. And the alternate to that is, I usually say
because they use this as a color for the, not only for the hair dye only, but for the skincare products too, to bring the color to the product.
So we have natural alternatives available. Those are like hennas, and there's another thing we call it kali, which is
indigo is another one. Which a lot of time, that's a good thing you pointed out. Like a lot of time people come to me and then they are especially if they are having, I tell them not to use the hair dye if they are having some health concerns, if they are having some skin irritation, or like they are started losing like a lot of hair. So that is my first concern, like to ask them if they are using some dyes, and then we need to say the natural ones, that still is not good. And if you are having some health issues, especially using the henna. And then there is another one which is called indigo, it's a process that can be used after putting the henna into your hair to make it dark, like not the red hair, but it turns it into the brown or black hair. So that is one thing, you don't want to see that into your cosmetic. And then there is another ingredient which is called the DEA, which is also used in the cream and foaming products, also in the moisturizers and the shampoos too. So that also is can be carcinogen too. And then there is
and usually these DEAs you find you mentioned that it in the shampoos and probably also in the those conditioners too, right?
Yes. So that need to read the label for these all ingredients. And then there is also the phthalates, which is again used in the lot of the cosmetic, and also into the it's a plasticizer, and it's used in the nail care products too. So which is again, it can the hormonal, it can affect our hormones too. It's a reproductive toxic too, so need to look for that. And also, Dr. Shailinder, another one is the formaldehyde releasing preservatives. So all the preservatives on the parabens used into the cosmetic, like now you are it's available now, there is the skincare or the cosmetic available, but you need to read the label. If you are reading a lot of ingredients into some skincare products, don't go for that. Become familiar with the names. And so like if you read all these label on your label, do not buy those one, because these are really carcinogenic, because all these we are using in the daily life, every day, in the morning and in the evening. So as a moisturizer, or as a cleanser, or as an exfoliator. So if your skincare has these ingredients labeled, try not to use those.
And usually these formaldehydes are labeled as DMDM, hydantoin, on the label. So and you can also there usually also urea and other chemicals which are present, which are really not really very healthy for our system, and they're known to be carcinogens.
Yes, and then another one is the perfumes, which is also like really like in our skincare products, they use to make it feel good, smell good. So that is also not toxic. And then there is the look for the PEG compound. That also is not good. It's a propylene glycol. Also, so that is not recommended. Then the petrolatum is also like lot of in our like the balm or the skin lip balm and the moisturizer or the lipsticks that they use it too, which can cause also cancer, can cause cancer.
So these petrolatum are the like petroleum products, like which I mentioned earlier. They are rich. They contain lots of benzene and toluene, and which are also kind of carcinogens.
Yes, and then there is another one is the big one is the sodium lauryl sulfate, which is like mostly all the over the counter in your drugstore, all the shampoos, skincare, the facial wash, they use this sodium lauryl sulfate, which is also it can cause cancer too. So if we are using it every day, we should not be like the cleanser or the shampoo should not be having this sodium lauryl sulfate.
Yeah, there is a natural alternative available for the soapiness,
and there is lot of
the
lines
soap
available.
nut
You
and
need
all
to
those
look,
are
you need to
available.
look into that. And then it also is a siloxanes, which is also not like it makes the cosmetic it softens it and smooth and moisten it. So that is also not good for our hormones.
So the to all the listeners, if you look at the label, which ends up with the siloxane or a methicone, that's these are the chemicals to be avoided, and they're known to be endocrine disruptors. That means they lead to imbalance your female hormones or male hormones.
Yes. So all these, and then that another one is the triclosan, which is also used into the toothpaste, cleansers, antiperspirants, and also this uses as antibacterial cosmetics or the soaps too. So that can also be need to look for that.
Yeah, and they have been these triclosans are actually may have been, the studies have indicated that it may be one of the factors which leads to antibiotic resistance bacteria. So even though they put in it, but it may cause chronic use may lead to the resistance to the different antibiotics.
Yeah, so like I mentioned about the paraben earlier, so that is the big one. Like as a preservative, they use it as a methyl paraben, propyl paraben, ethyl paraben, butyl paraben. So wherever it says at the end it's a paraben, you need to avoid, folks, and you will find it's really really like cancerous for the body. And so like I will mention a few others too, which is like the benzoyl peroxide is you need to look for that too. So paraben, phthalates, sodium lauryl sulfate, PEG, if you see PEG, BHA, BHT, DEA, petrochemicals, formaldehyde, perfume, synthetic fragrances, benzoyl peroxide, triclosan, coal tar dyes. So all these you need to look for it that you are not using. So there is like then Dr. Shailinder, like a lot of my patients ask about the natural like alternatives, or also for the like this is the summer, we want to use the to protect our body from the sun.
Right.
So sunscreen, so which is another one which is like huge, and really people are using like like if you go to the regular doctors, that they do recommend that use the sunscreen, and we are rubbing the sunscreen from our face to our arms to our legs and to our body, the whole body. So, skin serves many functions, and big one is the detoxification, and through your skin and the sweating and all that. So, we are by putting all those chemicals from the skincare products, the sunscreen, we are not helping ourselves. It's really carcinogen too. So what we can do, I'm going to add like little bit what you can use if you are not using the sunscreen. There is the natural ways to help the body.
All right. One of the things which I tell people, if you're going to go in the sun and sit out or walk in the sun for a long time, wearing clothing, actually the full clothing, gives you quite good protection from the sunburns, but also it protects from the from any skin cancer you might get. So that's one of the simplest way to do. And what other things, Dr.
Yeah,
Anju?
so sometimes I tell my patients too, like if I say that body is a organ which helps to detox, same thing is the liver is a organ which helps to detox. Do we wrap it in some plastic to our liver, or why we want to wrap our body into the sunscreen?
That's a good analogy.
And so that's I will add for my listeners a few things like they can use. Like coconut oil is a great it's a natural SPF into it. So, and its coconut oil is also antibacterial, antifungal, and it can help from the sun protection too. So
rubbing coconut oil all over the body
so
is
it will be,
very
it's
good
a naturally your moisturizer. So it's like for my listeners, if they have issue with the acne, so coconut oil can be great. People sometimes are afraid that it will clog their pores, but it's an antibacterial. It has the antifungal properties too, and it's a great sun protectant. So you can use it for like the sunscreen, the coconut oil. And then people can use the shea butter, which is great, which heals and prevents the water loss from your skin. So it's a great moisturizer.
Yeah, and I have seen lots of shea products on the stores, and it's a very natural, and it usually doesn't have too much of a strong smell to it either.
Yeah.
And it can be used. It really keeps the moisture in the skin.
Then there is also like the carrot seed oil, which contains the beta carotene, which is the antioxidant, and prevents from the wrinkles and.
But also beta carotenes are anti-cancer too.
Anti-cancerous too, and this one again has the carrot seed oil does have the natural SPF too, plant SPF.
So carrots. Not only eating carrots helps you, but also beta carotene oils or the carrot seed oil. Actually is a very good for your skin and protecting you from the sunburn, and all that is excellent.
Yes, and then another one is the red raspberry oil, which has the naturally high in vitamin A, E, and omega-3 and 6 fatty acids.
So red raspberry, again, this oil is extracted from the red raspberry seeds. And again, it's a naturally containing the omega oils, omega-3 and 6 oils. So, it definitely has it contains, like Dr. Anju mentioned, vitamin A and E. So that gives you very natural protection.
And another one is really I like this one is which is great, like the available in India a lot too, is the moringa oil.
Yeah, the moringa citrifolia is a plant.
Yeah, it's Ayurvedic. It has been used for like a lot into the skincare, and so which is highly moringa oil is highly penetrating. It contains 72% of oleic acid, and which is it helps to absorb into the skin and drives nutrients deep into the skin because of its similarity to the sebum oil. So
it's a kind of fatty oil. It's a fatty. The seeds from the moringa plant actually contains quite a bit these fatty molecules and the fatty oils, and the oleic acid, which Dr. Anju mentioned, known to have very good protective action as well on the skin. So
it's a great antioxidant, and it does have the anti-inflammatory action too.
Right. So if you are having a little bit of sore joints, sore fingers, applying liberally on your hands and joints will help in
The
that case too.
another one I would like to add is the like the antibacterial to the kalonji oil, which
Yeah,
is
the
another
black seed oil.
black seed oil. That's another like great for the if like you are having some issue with the irritation or the skin redness or something secondary to some chemicals or like just so like all these chemicals like that we talked about, all those dirty dozens, like it can give you any kind of reaction from irritation, as I mentioned. It's just simple irritation to the uh, big one is like the birth defects too, so the cancers too, because it's alters our hormones into the body, as we mentioned. So we need to stay away from these because it mimics like our hormones into the body. And these hormone disruptors can affect how estrogen and other hormones act in our body. So, folks, I will really ask you to look for all these ingredients and stay away from them. And there is also like the lot of natural lines. We do have the in the cosmetic to also into the we have at the office completely natural herbal lines too, which we offer to our patients, and also like the makeup line too, which we use at the office is also does not have any parabens, and it's all good mineral based. There is also the mineral based cosmetic available, which is don't go for the cheap ones. Those are again not good for you. So like you need to know like what we are using. So all these were I wanted to tell. I can say a lot about the chemicals into the skincare, but we do not have enough time. And same time, like these chemicals can be, Dr. Shailinder, you want to add something like in the food market too. So which is again, we have these chemicals into our fruit, like the food too.
Right, and a lot of people don't realize when they eat, when they buy food or the packed food, or the drinks, they made tasty, but the way they're made tasty is by adding the chemicals which you don't want to. Most of the common the food, the additive is or alcohol, something which every one of us have used, is called high fructose corn syrup, and that is so much prevalent that every carbonated drink you buy contains it, and it's like one of the food which I will definitely like you to avoid. It's also there have been misinformation about the high fructose corn syrup, that it is told that it does not have any worse effect on more than a sugar, but the researchers have shown that it actually really immunocompromise. What is going on with the high fructose corn syrup, that it contains a free form of monosaccharides of fructose and glucose. So it cannot be considered a biological equivalent to sucrose, which is a sugar. So which has a glycosidic bond that links the fructose and glucose together, and it slows down the breakdown in your body. So fructose is primarily metabolized by the liver, and because liver is the only organ that has a transporter for it, so all fructose gets shuttled to the liver, and what happens? It actually loads your system. It actually load up your system just like the way alcohol will load up your liver, and that leads to the toxicity. So so what happened when you eat a lot of corn-based fructose or any other type of fructose, or they call HFC, high fructose corn syrup, it converts into fat. And we have obesity is a major problem in the United States, and we want to avoid that, the high corn fructose syrup. And there was a study done where they actually fed 25% calories just from the high fructose corn syrup to the rats, and 50% of the rat died earlier, and also 25% of their the offspring was less. So that means that it affected the reproductive system. So as a recommendation, I always advise people consume fructose as little as possible, maybe less than 15 grams or less. So, that is really hard when you think of it is 15 grams. It's equal to, 2 dates, or average 12-ounce can of soda contains about 40 grams of sugar, and at least half of which is from the high fructose corn syrup. So anyway, the soda pops are out because it contains a lot of the. Then do we have Dr. Anju, artificial sweeteners?
Yes, that is the really big one. Like lot of things especially our teenagers, or they love to drink like all those sometimes even my son, oh, this doesn't have anything bad in it, right? Like then you need to look at the ingredients, and it does have artificial sweeteners.
Right, and usually aspartame, which is a really been studied a lot, and it's considered as a neurotoxic actually, and a lot of companies have started taking away, but it is still present in a lot of our food. And this is not something you want. It's a amino acid which literally attacks your cells and cross the blood-brain barrier, attack your brain cells, and creating a toxic cellular overstimulation. So you want to stay away. And the other one is a monosodium glutamate, MSG, present in lots of Chinese food. Usually, sometime when if I go to eat Chinese food, I usually I'll tell my waiter to make sure that they don't put MSG in the food.
And this one, again, like a lot of people will, if they eat the Chinese food and if it has the MSG, they experience like they are having headache, or like they are
sometimes rash or heat.
Rash, or the feeling like the heat kind of thing in the body. It's due to that too.
Right. And the synthetic trans fats, which are like and the margarine, vegetable shortening, the hydrogenated oils, you want to stay away. You do not want hydrogenated oil, and you don't want margarine. It is really toxic. I mean, I'm still surprised that a lot of people still bring margarine into their cooking, and it's not a healthy oil at all.
Using butter or ghee would be all right.
Yeah, the ghee, cooking. Butter, and the oils from like olive oil, the avocado oils. Those are natural way, or coconut oil. You can use it and consider much safer, than the hydrogenated oil. So also, artificial colors. Those are problematic. They really you don't want. They make it look food really beautiful, but the reality is all these red 40 or blue,
and they consider it edible, so which is not like really do not use the colors into that, and look for also into the cosmetics too, or
right.
beauty products for the colors.
Right, and more natural you are, better it is. From natural sources. Other things which you need to avoid is sodium sulfites and all that. BHA and BHT, these are present in the food.
And the BHA and BHT they use as a preservative, and the same thing, the vitamin E oil, Dr. Shailinder, can do the same thing into our cosmetic or in our food too. Right.
And so these are the few of the things which you need to avoid, folks, as we're coming closer to the last few seconds. The best thing, we both practice at Ayurvedic Naturopathic Medical Clinic in Bellevue, Washington, and our phone number for the clinic is 425-453-8022. Again, 425-453-8022. And I really thank you for listening to us, and I hope you eat all clean. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic, or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.